Welcome to the Embodied Resilience podcast, where we explore the intersection of trauma-informed yoga, emotional and mental health, nervous system regulation, and the ancient wisdom of Chinese meridians. I'm Liz, a trauma-specialized yoga educator and space holder. In each episode, we will dive into practices, stories, and conversations that help you to return to your body, navigate life with more awareness, and support others with integrity and depth. Whether you're a yoga teacher, a student, or seeker, this space is for you. Hello and welcome to this episode, Unlocking What Other Yoga Practices Couldn't, my journey into Yin Yoga. So why Yin Yoga unlocks what other practices might not? I would like to start with a question here. Have you practiced yoga, maybe even for years, and you still felt like something was missing or you felt stuck? Like the physical part was there. You were stretching, strengthening, flowing, but underneath it all, your nervous system was still in a survival mode. Your emotions still felt stuck. The stress, the overwhelm, maybe even the burnout never really went away. That was exactly me for years. On the outside, yoga worked. I had flexibility, I could move through a flow class, I learned the alignment, I did all the breathing. People even looked at me and thought that, wow, she must be so zen. But inside, I was still burning out. A few years ago, I was still working in the corporate world. Long hours, endless deadlines, stress layered upon stress. I pushed myself harder and harder because that's what I learned and thought success required. And then my body just stopped me. I landed in the hospital with a life-threatening illness. Everything I had been ignoring, all the warning signs, all the emotions I shoved down so I could keep going, caught up with me. And here was the hard truth I had to face. The regular yoga I was practicing wasn't enough to help me break those patterns. It didn't stop my nervous system from running on overdrive. It didn't teach me how to feel my emotions instead of repressing them. It didn't help me meet my body in its raw, vulnerable humanity. And that's when I found Yin Yoga. I had to take it easy anyway during my recovery from my illness, and I was also looking for a practice that could help me regain my mobility and flexibility, which I completely lost after lying in the hospital bed for an extended period of time. From the very first practice, Yin Yoga landed differently. Instead of rushing, I slowed down. Instead of pushing, I allowed. Instead of bypassing what I felt, I had to sit with it. And honestly, at first, it was very uncomfortable. My mind raced, my body rebelled. I wanted to escape and run away. But something in me knew this was the work I needed to actually be with what I have been avoiding my whole life, and also to be kind to my recovering body. It wasn't just about stretching connective tissues and regaining my flexibility, however. Yin Yoga gave me the space to notice what lived in my body, the grief, the exhaustion, the fear I never allowed myself to express. Over time, I realized this practice was doing something that my previous practice never could. It was helping me regulate my nervous system, release emotions stuck in my body, and build a capacity to feel safe in stillness. Why the so-called regular yoga isn't always enough. Most yoga styles we see in studios today are great to build strength, stamina, stability, discipline. And for some, that's exactly what they need. But when you are dealing with nervous system dysregulation, burnout, unprocessed trauma, recovering from illness, or dealing with emotions buried deep within the body, those practices often just skim the surface. Actually, a fast-paced yoga class is the perfect opportunity to escape, to disassociate and disconnect from whatever is going on in your internal landscape. You can sweat out tension, but you cannot flow away unprocessed grief. You can nail the perfect handstand, but it won't soften the armor around your heart. You can hold a plank for 5 minutes, but it won't teach your nervous system how to rest and feel safe again. That's why so many students come to me after years of yoga practice and say, I thought I was doing all the right things, but I still feel stuck. I still feel anxious. I still feel disconnected. It's not that they have failed at yoga or something. It's that most yoga spaces simply weren't designed with trauma awareness or nervous system regulation in mind, or any kind of depth apart from the physical practice for that matter. So how Yin Yoga and trauma awareness shifted everything for me. What makes Yin Yoga different isn't just the long-haired postures. It's the invitation to slow down, to lean into discomfort without forcing, to listen to what's arising in your body, mind, and soul instead of overriding it. When we add trauma awareness to that, understanding how the nervous system works, why safety is non-negotiable, and how emotions get stuck in tissues, plus we add meridian work, Yin Yoga becomes not just a yoga practice, but a nervous system medicine. For me, this was a game changer, really a missing piece. I didn't just learn to stretch deeper, I learned to feel. I didn't just learn to relax, I learned to regulate. I didn't just learn to let go, I learned to integrate. And this is why, after my illness and my burnout, I completely shifted my path. I left the corporate world, I deepened into Yin Yoga and trauma-informed practices, and eventually I built my life's work around teaching others how to hold space for real, embodied healing. And why this matters for you. If you ever left a yoga class feeling like something was missing, if you ever thought, I should feel calm by now, but I don't, if you ever wondered why you're still stuck in cycles of stress and overwhelm even though you practice yoga regularly, it's simply because your body and nervous system might need something different, something slower, deeper, more attuned to the spaces regular yoga doesn't touch. And that's what Yin Yoga offers. And that is why I created my courses, because yoga teachers and practitioners deserve to know how to unlock these deeper layers for themselves and also for others they hold space for. And here's the good news. You don't have to complete a whole yoga teacher training to experience this shift. I have created a free practice just for you, the Emotional and Nervous System Yin Reset. Inside, you will get a guided Yin sequence designed to help you feel exactly how Yin Yoga works differently in your body. Along with the practice, I will share reflections on how emotions, meridians, and the nervous system connect, so you can start to notice those deeper layers for yourself. If this resonates, I invite you to download the free Yin Reset and give it a try. I'm sharing the link to this free offer in the description and cannot wait to hear how the practice lands for you. Because sometimes the thing we have been searching for isn't another flow, another class, another handstand. Sometimes it's the courage to slow down, feel, and finally meet ourselves where we are. If today's episode resonated with you and curious to experience how this works in practice, I invite you to explore it through my free resource, the Emotional and Nervous System Yin Reset. This experience combines short comprehensive theory, a guided Yin Yoga practice based on my integrated signature approach, the Meridian Emotion Nervous System Yoga method, and the reflection journal to integrate your experience. I will share the link of this free experience in the description, along with all my other resources. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.